In today's video, we're taking this 1x8 board and we're going to turn it into a cool little garden tote caddy toolbox thing. This build should only take a couple of hours, but I'm actually gonna time it on my phone. That way, you know, with the plans in the description below that are free, by the way, and a couple hours in the shop, you should have this thing completely built in one afternoon or evening, depending on when you get started on it. Like I said, for this build, I'm only using one 1x8 board, but you can use whatever type of wood that you want. This is ash, but you can use even scrap plywood that's 3/4 inch thick if you want to use that instead. So let's go ahead and time this build so you know exactly how long it takes and you can decide if it's something worth your time. No. This build is worth your time. We got it running. So step number one, we're gonna take our board and we're gonna go over to the miter saw and we're gonna cut 2 pieces at 11 inches. These are gonna be for the sides. And then after this, before we cut anything else down, we're actually gonna get started on a template for the design for the sides of this toolbox. But let's get these cut down first and then we can move on to working on the template piece. So I'm using S3S wood. If you go to the hardwood store and buy, say, a pine 1x8, that's the actual dimension is gonna be 3/4 of an inch thick and it's gonna be 7 1/4 inches wide. This is S3S, so it's actually not exactly to those specs. So I'm actually gonna trim this down on the table saw at 7 1/4 inches wide. So if you're using hardwood or any other stock like a 3/4 inch plywood, you're gonna wanna rip it down on the table saw so that we have an 11-inch long board that's 3/4 of an inch thick, and we want it to be 7 1/4 of an inch wide. That's a lot of measurements, but like I said, there's free plans in the description with all this mapped out. So check it out, it's free. You got nothing to lose. So we've got our 2 side pieces cut for the toolbox. And what I want to do is have some sort of a decorative curve design here, and then kind of almost like a ball on the top, and then it curves around the other side, obviously. I want them to be symmetrical, but we need a template so that I can do the exact same design on both of these pieces. So to do that, I'm going to take a scrap piece of this 1/2-inch plywood. This is a pretty straight piece. You want your template piece to be, as straight as possible. But we're gonna take this and I need to get it cut exactly to the size of this. So I'll take it over to the miter saw, cut this down to the 11 inches tall by 7 1/4 inches wide. It doesn't need to be the same thickness as this. I just need to make a shape the same dimensions, height and width-wise of this one. You can measure it or just trace it out like this. I'm gonna make it easy on myself and just trace it down. So we have our 2 11-inch tall pieces for the sides of the toolbox, and we have the template 1/2-inch plywood piece that we're going to make a template out of. So we're gonna set these off to the side for now. Believe it or not, all I'm gonna use, just some tape rings here. I normally draw everything inside of SketchUp beforehand to make sure that I save a lot of wood doing it this way. I actually have a beginner SketchUp course for sale and the link in the description. So if you guys wanna check it out, wanna learn SketchUp for yourself, go for it, it's down there. Looks like the walls of this toolbox are about 5 1/2 inches tall. So we're gonna go ahead and mark that here from the bottom up. We're gonna go 5 1/2 inches here, make a line across, like that. Okay, so we know that this is going to be the bottom half, this will be the top half, and we need, because the side walls are coming to this point, then we just wanna make a curve up and down this side. So we're gonna go ahead and just take some of these tape rolls. I don't know if that's big enough or not. We might need something bigger. So I'm gonna use actually this 12-inch diameter this 12-inch diameter circle. I'm actually gonna get center. I'm just gonna trace it, just like this. Just like that. Then again, I don't know, I think I might want to put a little more contour to it. Just use whatever round things you got in the shop until you find a shape that you're happy with. All right, I think I kind of like the shape that comes in a little more decorative than this outside one. So we're gonna scratch this one. Not gonna go with that. So now that we have the shape for the template traced out on this board, what I'm gonna do now is just rough out the shape. I wanna leave about 1/8 of an inch around on the outside of this whole line that I traced. I'm gonna use my bandsaw here, but if you don't have a bandsaw, no problem, just use a jigsaw. And if you don't have a jigsaw, use a handsaw. If you don't have a handsaw, you probably should go buy some sort of saw. Anyways, let's go ahead and get this roughed out and we can move over to the sanding table. All right, so check this out. Now, we have the template here that we just made. We can just lay it right on top of these pieces. We can rough it out with the bandsaw or jigsaw, and then use a flush trim bit on the router. We can get a perfect identical shape on this one and this one. So let's go ahead and start. Basically, you're just gonna put it right on it. Make sure it's square. We're gonna trace it all the way around it, just like that. We got one. Just like that. Cool, now we're just gonna rough out and cut this stuff out on both boards here. So I'm gonna take it back over to the bandsaw. Quick time check. We just got these cut down. We're at 34 minutes. That's also counting a unforeseen bandsaw switch that I had to do. So now that we've got our two roughed out pieces here and our template, we're just gonna pick one of the pieces and we're gonna put some double-sided tape on the top of it here. I love using double-sided tape for this method. You don't want to use too much because it makes it a little bit more difficult to get off, obviously. But you definitely want to go too little because that can actually be dangerous. The template can move around and shift and it can cause the router to catch something or, you know, cut your finger. Put a couple on here just like this. Okay, so now we're going to take this and line it up on the bottom corners as close as we can. It should sit right over that pencil line that we had previously traced. Put your weight on it, push it down so it's not going to move. And that stuff is super strong. It's not gonna move at all. We can make this piece flush all the way around our template. So now I'm gonna use the router with a flush trim bit. You can see the bearing is right here on the end of the router bit. That way, I'm just gonna flip this over. This is the template, this is the piece of ash. I'm gonna flip it over so the piece of ash is on top. And then I can set the depth of my router to where it needs to be so that that bearing references the template. Now I can just turn it on, go around the whole thing, and I'm gonna have a flush trim, hence the name, flush trim bit, on the piece of ash. Oh, there we go. All right, so now we're gonna do the exact same thing to the other piece of wood. Take the template, put it on the double-sided tape, flip it and move it over to the other one. Okay, so we have two identical pieces here for our little toolbox garden caddy tool thing. Yeah, it's a toolbox for your garden. I'm not really sure what you can call it. After the template, right now we're sitting right at 45 minutes to get to this point here with the unforeseen bandsaw change. And I'm talking to you guys and I'm moving the camera around, so it's taking me a little bit longer than normal. You guys could probably knock this out faster than I can right now. So in the plans I drew up, it looks like I was gonna put it right at 18.5 inches long for the whole thing, but that seems a little bit long. This is for my wife, and she's definitely not gonna want it super big, but I also want it to look proportionate. So I think 17 inches right here. Let's go with 17. We're gonna lock it in at 17 inches. So I'm gonna need a board, another board for the bottom, right at 7 1/4. So let's go cut that down. We're gonna need that one, and then we're also gonna need a board for the side that are gonna be 17 inches long by, should be 5.5. Yes, by 5.5 inches, confirmed. And I just caught myself again before I almost made a mistake. So that piece on the bottom has to be cut at 15.5 inches, not 17 inches, because I have to account for the outside 3/4 of an inch, outside 3/4 of an inch. So subtracting 3/4 of an inch by 3/4 of an inch from 17 inches is 15.5 inches. So I need one board cut at 15.5 inches and two boards cut at 17 inches. Now we can get to cutting. That was horrible. Okay, we're gonna take our two sidewalls, set the table saw to 5.5, and then we're gonna get these ripped down, take them over to start assembling. All right, let's go ahead and do a little bit of a dry fit here before we keep going. I wanna make sure everything's lining up correctly. So we got these at 5.5 inches. If anything's a little bit off, it's all right, because we can always just sand it down and square it up after we've assembled it. That's looking pretty good. One thing I do want to do, you guys could probably just leave it as is, add some glue, tack it together. You know, we could cut the handle down to size. This is just one of the cutoffs on the sides that actually might work perfect for the handle. I'll probably just use my 2 1/4 horse router to make some rabbets. You can use a saw if you want as well. I have other videos demonstrating how I do rabbets with the miter saw. But for this, all I'm gonna do to mark where I need to set up for the rabbet, and I'm gonna make the rabbet 3/8 of an inch deep, because that would be splitting this 3/4 of an inch in half. So now I've got a 3/4 inch line around the whole thing, and I'm gonna label this, we'll say this is the right side, left. So we're gonna just cut a groove basically 3/8 of an inch deep all along these three sides, and that way we can just set it straight in. It'll make for a stronger box, and then also make the joinery look a little bit nicer. We'll do the exact same thing on this side, line it up. Now we have our marks to cut our groove or our rabbet, 3/8 of an inch deep on all three sides like this. We got the left marked, and we've got the right side marked. So to make this rabbet, I'm gonna use a 2 1/4 horse Bosch router here with a 1/2 inch spiral upcut bit. That's a mouthful, but I have all the materials for everything that I use in the description. So link to this router, this bit, it's all down there. You can check it out. Alrighty, my depth stop just fell off as I was turning it on. So let's put that back on and check our depth again. All right, so we screwed it back on. That's the depth stop right there. It popped off when I turned it on. Show you a close up here. So we have a 3/8 inch deep by 3/4 of an inch wide rabbet around the entire three sides here, both ends and the bottom. So we'll do a quick dry fit here first. If you guys haven't tried joinery like this, I highly recommend start practicing with some just basic rabbet joints like this. Not only does it make your build stronger, it's a lot of fun to do, and it is just a little classier way of putting things together. This seam right here is just a little bit of a gap there. So not as tight as I was hoping, but that's okay. Sometimes I like to cut the pieces for the builds as I go. That way I can make just minor adjustments in case something doesn't line up, because not everything is perfect all the time. Let's get this cut down to size, put a round over on it, and then we can start sanding and putting it all together. All right, we got the round over done here. We're gonna sand everything down now before we put it together. It's gonna be a lot easier to sand it first, and then we'll tack it together and throw some finish on it for the finish. I'm actually gonna use something I've never used before, so stay tuned for that. I'm excited to see what it looks like. This is pretty straightforward here. We're just gonna slowly work our way around it, putting as few nails in here as possible. The glue's gonna be very strong, so I'm not too worried about that. Let's start with this. Start putting glue on it, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna spread the glue around so that it's on both seams basically. Put this one up right there. This one, just like that. Do the exact same thing on this side here. like that. Piece of cake, guys, it's too easy. Let's swing the camera around here and shoot a 1.25 inch brad nail in there. Put a little glue on both ends. You like it?
Yeah.
2 nails so that the handle doesn't spin. To cover up the nail holes on this, before I finish it and sand it, I actually am going to use this plastic wood. It stains really well, really easy to apply and dries super quick. So I'm going to throw this in all the nail holes and then we can get to sanding it. We're officially finished sanding and all that good stuff. So I'm going to go grab the finish I'm using, which happens to be the Rubio Monocoat cotton white color. I'm going to grab it and I'll show you. So you can see right there. So I'm going to use 3 parts of can A to 1 part of this. To do that, I'm just going to use this plastic syringe here and these measuring spoons and then some sort of disposable cup, which I need to find, some sort of like red Solo cup. Gonna mix it together and then we're just gonna take this sponge brush and coat the whole thing in this finish, hence the name Rubio Monocoat. You only need 1 coat, they say. So we're just gonna coat the entire thing and let it cure and see how it looks after that. I'm gonna pause the timer though. Let's go and do a time check to see how long it took to build this thing. We're sitting right at 2 hours, 5 minutes, 25 seconds. Let's let it sit for 30 minutes and then see what it looks like once I get it all wiped off. If you guys made it this far, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, like this video if you like this video. I bet you'll like the one on the screen here. Check out those free plans in the description. I'll see you guys in the next video.